Our speaker today is an accomplished project engineer at Collins Aerospace and a fairly recent member of our club who, like many of us, enjoys a perfectly percolated cup of coffee. Max Cruz is going to take us on a trip down coffee lane and how his life has been molded, dare I say stirred, by coffee. Let's welcome Max Cruz with his speech, Coffee, a Way of Life.
Good afternoon, our fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. Oh, coffee, one of my favorite things. I find it to be delicious, useful, and an integral part of my life. Where I come from, it's very common to start drinking coffee from an early age, and that's how it started. However, I'm not a heavy coffee drinker, but I like my 1 cup of coffee a day, and I like to brew my own. Coffee, it's one of the biggest agricultural exports of Puerto Rico, and I grew up visiting the plantations because my father used to work the heavy equipment used to prepare the fields and clean the waste ponds. It's very common to drive through the mountains of Puerto Rico and see mountain sides covered with coffea plants. If you've never seen a coffea plant, I can give you an idea. The coffea tree plant is a small tree, easily reachable by most bean pickers. The coffee bean, it's not really a bean, nor is a berry, how it's often called. The coffee bean is a stone fruit, a soft shell covering a seed in the center, within the same family as cherry, plums, and peaches. What we consume in the coffee comes from the seed, believed to be original from South Arabia and Northeastern Africa. The earliest known consumption of coffee was in the 15th century in what is today Yemen. By the 16th century, it had reached the rest of the Middle East and Northern Africa, and later spreading to Europe. Today, coffee is found in every corner of the world. Most grown coffee types are Arabica and Robusta. Of the two, Arabica is the most consumed. Arabica is preferred because of its sugary flavor, while Robusta has a higher caffeine content. I recall stories from my grandfather-in-law telling stories of why he preferred to produce and sell Robusta, because while he had a lower demand, he could fetch a higher price for it. The picking is a labor-intensive task, especially for higher quality coffees, where the picking is not only when the bean is ripe. My senior family members, many of them, have worked the fields, picking from dawn to dusk. The sorting and the first removal is important too. The methods contribute to the quality and taste of the coffee. And I've seen the most common methods, but I also know some other parts of the world, animals such as elephant, are used to process the coffee with the digestive systems. Then comes the roasting, and the roasting process influences the taste of the beverage. The darker roasts have more of a bolder flavor due to the fewer fibers and more sugary flavors. Lighter roasts have complex and therefore potency flavors from aromatic oils and acids otherwise destroyed by longer roasting times. Coffee is primarily cultivated in equatorial areas of the Americas, Southeastern Asia, Indian subcontinent, and Africa. Puerto Rico is in a prime spot to grow coffee. Sadly, production of coffee in Puerto Rico is becoming something less common. There's very strong competition from lower cost countries and a general loss of desire to work the fields. I can't say much about it. I grew up to be an engineer, and now I have a desk job. Nevertheless, I wish it was different. Coffee has other uses too. The pharmaceutical industry benefits from the coffee production. Decaffeinated coffee, it's made by removing the caffeine oils from the seed. This byproduct is then sold to pharmaceuticals. Almost everyone in my family drinks coffee, but my wife, also a Puerto Rican, does not, which makes her a bit of an alien. I wish and hope my children grow up to love coffee as much as I do. My forefathers cultivated and drank coffee. Entire generations survived from its production. Part of who I am today is due to this agricultural expert. For me, coffee, it's more than a drink. It's part of my life. Thank you.
Nice, Max. Thank you so much. Always good to hear about coffee, first of all, but also how you've developed from the last speech to this speech, because I had the pleasure of evaluating you the last time.